Alright, we're closing in on the one Marvel Studios movie we get this year, so it's time to start talking Deadpool and Wolverine. Let's f***ing go! If you've been to a theater recently, you probably went to go see Bad Boys Ride or Die, but you also might have seen a Deadpool and Wolverine preview where Deadpool teases a big character introduction in Secret Wars only to be cut off by a cell phone because it's actually a theater etiquette PSA. But I have very little doubt Deadpool's going to be in Avengers Secret Wars, because he was actually part of the original event. At this point, the more learned of you in the audience might be saying, but Secret Wars was a 1984 event, and Deadpool only debuted in 1990. How can that be? To which I say, how do you know enough about comic books to know that, but not enough to know about the power of retcons? Because as a tie-in to the 2015 Secret Wars, Deadpool got his own 4-issue miniseries inserting him in one of Marvel's first major crossover events, Lion King 1.5 style. Wait, does that analogy track? I mean, Secret Wars 2 is the much less successful sequel, but I feel like it's way less fondly regarded than Lion King 2. And then it makes Secret Wars 2015 the shitty modern remake, which... yeah, no, that doesn't fit at all. Anyways, if you're not familiar with the original Secret Wars, a phenomenally powerful cosmic entity called the Beyonder summoned a number of heroes and villains to a patchwork planet of his own creation known as Battleworld, and ordered them to fight each other for the prize of whatever wish they desired. There was infighting, there was melodrama, there was Galactus, and also Deadpool, making a general pest out of himself as per usual. The story's told horrifically out of order and requires a more comprehensive summary of Secret Wars than I really have time for, but for a highlight reel, which is really all this miniseries is anyways, Deadpool fell in love with the healer Zodji after he found out her abilities were able to cure his constant cancer and give him back his handsome face, but since Zodji was in love with Colossus, he rebounded with the Wasp, because even though Hank Pym's abusive tendencies have been greatly exaggerated, the fact remains that Janet has terrible taste in men. He found a psychic shield and then lost it when Mr. Fantastic used some of its components to engineer a way for the heroes to escape being buried under an entire mountain, and briefly bonded with the symbiote that would become Venom before deciding his own psyche was too much for another sentient being to bear, returning it for Spider-Man to find, and ironically inflicting the numerous psychological issues that would go on to plague it in the future. Battleworld is even where Deadpool acquired his trademark medium awareness, having intercepted the Beyonder's energy at one point and with it discerning the fictitious nature of his own existence. But why, you may ask, has Deadpool's presence during this massive historical event never come up until 2015? Well, when most of the heroes were killed by an attack from Dr. Doom, Deadpool allowed Mr. Fantastic to use his healing factor to resurrect everyone else. But the overtaxing of his powers caused his scarred, cancerous appearance to manifest itself once again, horrifying the Wasp. At the end of the event, the Beyonder's residual energies began fulfilling everyone's wishes anyway, and Wasp used hers to make everyone forget that Deadpool had ever been there. Presumably out of shame for having repeatedly flinched at his appearance, but who can say for sure? Deadpool himself used his wish to bring Zodji back to life, as she sacrificed herself bringing Colossus and Mr. Fantastic back to life earlier, and also sent her far away from Battleworld. The rest of the heroes were unaware of this, assuming that even the Beyonder's power hadn't been enough to bring her back despite Colossus wishing for it. Although Deadpool remembered he was there, so... dick move, Janet. Least you could have done was let him forget, too. Anyways, yeah, long and short of it is I'd expect Deadpool to be in the upcoming Secret Wars movie. Partly because I expect pretty much everyone to show up in some form or another. Next week, that time Wolverine f***ing died.